Welcome back. And on this episode, we're going to answer more questions that we receive frequently at Frank Walker Law. So let's check the list here. Should I just check into a rehab? I think that question is more or less geared towards people who are charged with a narcotics offense. And they think, oh, I'm facing serious time in prison. I'm facing a mandatory minimum of 1 year or 5 years in prison. Let me just check into a rehab, and that should alleviate all the concerns. I'm going to be clean, and it's no longer going to be a problem. I'm no longer going to be a problem to the state or to the Commonwealth or to the federal government if I just check into rehab. If I check into rehab, they want me to get better. They're not going to arrest me there. They're going to let me stay in rehab forever. That's not the case. And I remember particularly there was a case on Law & Order, which I'm fine of just making fun of. There was a case where a guy checked into rehab, and he thought, there's no way they can catch me here. I'm in a rehab. They want me to get better. They arrested him right at the rehab. They walked right in there with a warrant, and they arrested him, and they took him away. Their job is to close the case. If they find out wherever you are, if they have an arrest warrant for you, if you're in church, if you're in rehab, if you're on the street, you're on the stoop, take it back. Wherever you are, they can execute that warrant. Can an attorney help you? Yeah, if you have a criminal defense attorney, that attorney can call the detective, which I've done many times. Hey, they're in rehab. Can you allow them to complete a 30-day stint before you execute that warrant? And I will turn them in. I will surrender them myself to your custody. Sometimes they'll agree to that. Or they're visiting family away. They had a funeral, something they had to go to, something they needed to wrap up. I will turn them in first thing on Tuesday morning or wherever. Yes, they can do that. But thinking you can go into rehab, check in, and everything just is going to go away once you check out after 30 days, 60 or 90 days. No, that's not going to happen. The case is just not going to go away. I don't know why in society we have this idea that if you're arrested for something, if you just ignore it, it will just go away. Actually, it gets worse. If you ignore it, it gets worse. You miss hearings. A bench warrant is issued for your arrest, or capias in the state of West Virginia, as they call it, is issued for your arrest. And anyone can execute that bench warrant or capias at any time, wherever you are. Rehab, no rehab. They can find you and they will execute that. And now you're sitting, get this, you're sitting in jail awaiting to see a judge to explain to them why you didn't show up to court for a crime that probably you would not have gone to jail for if convicted in the first place. The reality is, if you are charged with a crime, wherever you are, don't try to avoid it. Don't think I can just go to rehab and it's going to go away. I can just avoid it or go away. I'll move. I'm not there anymore. They can't find me. They will find you. They will find you. Trust me, they will find you. I said earlier that there's no guarantees in the law. That's pretty much close to a guarantee as you can get. They will find you if they have an arrest warrant for you. Don't try to ignore it. Don't try to hide in rehab. Does rehab have a purpose in a criminal justice system? Absolutely. If you find yourself addicted to substances, illegal substances, absolutely, you should check into rehab, but with your attorney's knowledge, with the consent of maybe the prosecutor or the understanding of the court. This is where I am at. I'm voluntarily checking myself in. Or get the attorney to have a condition of your pretrial release modified to where you are on pretrial release. You've already turned yourself in. You've been arraigned for the crime. You're on bond or bail. And now a condition of that bond or bail is that you go to inpatient rehab and you remain there until either A, you are discharged by order of court, or 2, your case is adjudicated, meaning you have to go to court for a sentencing or a change of plea or a guilty plea or a trial. Those are the cases where rehab has its purposes in the criminal justice system. But don't think you can treat it as a sanctuary and just hide out there and they can't get past that front door, because you'll be sorely disappointed. Any questions? If you find yourself having questions about rehab, pretrial release, or anything about substance abuse in the criminal justice system, please give us a call, 412-532-6805, or visit us online at frankwalkerlaw.com.